Hello and welcome to Portal 64, your gateway to answers. I'm your host David, and we're going to give some answers for the Q&A video. The questions are kind of out of order because YouTube is really weird, and it's like top comments, and for some reason things are top comments despite the likes all being equal and whatnot. So anyway, here we go. Question number 1. Black Rose asks, which RVB character and which Ruby character would you find the most inspiring? I think for Red vs. Blue, it's Carolina because she's always going towards her goal, but she got very hard, but then she softened up and learned to trust again with the Reds and Blues after the loss that she had with Team Freelancer. And for Ruby, I'd say John, probably because he's had the most character development. He kind of went from being a loser and a guy who was very socially awkward to a total leader, and yeah, I think that's awesome. Lady Stardust, which by the way, shout out to her because I don't think we'd be here so early if it wasn't for her. She asks, would you rather never be able to sync audio properly or have jump cuts slightly messed up? So this video is going to be a perfect example. I think I'd rather have jump cuts slightly messed up. I'm still trying to learn how to get jump cuts down. Audio kind of lasts the entire video, so if it's slightly out of sync, it's really annoying, and I have this problem a lot with my reaction videos because I film using OBS, and OBS for some reason doesn't know how to keep things in sync. So when I go into editing, I have to detach my audio from the video, and then I have to delete a few frames from the video so it's lined up. And how I do that is before at the beginning of the recording, I clap, and I just match the sound of the clap with my hands making contact together. And sometimes I'm still a frame off, but it's such a small difference that no one would really notice. The Kaito Dan asks, oh yeah, by the way, shout out to Kaito Dan. He's an awesome Ruby channel, and good luck Dan in Spain. What game would you most like to see made? Be it a sequel, Ruby, or not? Also, where does Portal 64 comes from? So my ideal game would be kind of like Legend of Zelda, but Ruby themed. Like I like well, not Ruby themed, but Ruby styled Legend of Zelda game. A game where you could have guns, swords, you could do all this crazy magic stuff, or have items, and you get through puzzles, and it's an open world, and it has a fantastic story. If it is Ruby, then I'd like it to be something that you make your own team and have your own OCs played in it. I think that'd be amazing. Competition asks, do you like Adam Taurus and see redemption in him? So yes, I do like him. I think he's a really great villain because he's not very flat or 2D character-wise. He has some depth to him because we know he used to be in a relationship with Blake, and we know that he must have used to be a different type of person, and somewhere down the line, he kind of started changing, and then he met up with Cinder, and then now he's really changed, and I think he's really loving being evil, so I don't know if there is any redemption left for him. Black Rose asks, who is your favorite RVB character and why? I'm probably going to go with Tucker for this one. Favorite characters for Red vs. Blue rotate so often for me. I'm just going to go with Tucker because he has that sword going swish swish stab, and he's once again kind of had a lot of character development from how he was in the beginning of the series to how he is now, being a leader, a father. He's not so much of a goofball, but he's still able to have fun and all that. The competition again asks, will you make a Discord for your fans to hang out in? This is a really good question because I have actually been thinking of that, but I need to ask you guys, would you rather have that sooner rather than later? Like, I'd like to know if there's actually demand for that. And I do plan on having an exclusive Discord for Patreon donors. Once I get that set up, it'll be like the $10 tier probably, but that'll just be one kind of like how Murderer Birds does it, where he does it on Skype, where he has like a whole hour or 2 hours where he talks to just you guys that had helped contribute. But I will have one that's free for everyone to just chat and have a good time, and I'll be on there too. I'm still trying to learn how Discord works, but guys, definitely let me know if you'd rather see a Discord sooner rather than later. Lady Stardust asks again, why did you start YouTube? Haha, promise I'm done with spamming you with questions. Well, once again, because the questions are out of order, this isn't her last question, but why did I start YouTube? It could all go back to my junior year in high school, and I got my Xbox 360, and I had a Halo craze with my cousins, and we found Halo Fails of the Week with Jack and Jeff. And I just really loved seeing how they were able to entertain people and make a living off of it doing video games, and I loved that. And I've been an actor since I was a kid. I was with True Talent Agency, and I've been in musicals and stuff ever since I was really young. So I love entertaining others, but I never thought I could do that through video games and on the internet. And so, guys, you really need to thank Jack and Jeff, because without them, there would be no Portal 64. Black Rose asks, favorite male and favorite female character in RWBY. Well, I like John just because I could relate to him the most. And then Pyrrha because, well, it's Pyrrha and she's my favorite character overall anyways. All right, Sandwiches42 asks, what kind of weapon gun would you have if you were in RWBY and why? Same for Semblance. All right, Sandwiches, I'm going to make a separate video just for this question because I had been thinking about this as a video idea already, so hang in there. Kosif Tadros asks, how do you feel about Pyrrha being looted? Lady Stardust asks, how did you find RWBY? Alright, this is gonna go back to Lady's other question. So I found Halo Fails the Week, and back then Achievement Hunter was on the Rooster Teeth channel, and I found their Red vs. Blue series, and specifically Season 9 and 10. Season 10 was still going on at that time, so I just kind of watched all through Season 9, watching the amazing fight scenes, and I really recognized, became familiar with Monty Oom's name being connected to the amazing fight scenes I loved so much. And then the Red trailer came out, and there his name was, and I was like, holy crap, Monty Oom's in this? Like, this is gonna be great. And somehow the other trailers like fell under the radar. I didn't see them till actually after I saw Volume 1 altogether. But the Volume 1 premiere came out, and I watched it, and I just loved it, and here we are today. Alright, Bmaster4 says, congrats! Also, how much cookies could a RWBY chuck if a RWBY could chuck cookies? P.S. If Rooster Teeth came up to you and asked you if you wanted to voice a new character in RWBY and Red vs. Blue, would you do it? The point of the question, me no understand, just randomly thought it up also. Congrats! Hashtag was his life. So, I don't know how many cookies she could chuck. But if Rooster Teeth did come up to me for a voice acting job, that would be a dream come true. I don't know, I'm just barely now kind of going into the voice acting thing. Someone has contacted me on my YouTube channel saying, hey, would you like to help voice act in this machinima? All I know is it's made using Halo 5, and I've voiced a few lines for him, and I haven't heard from him yet, but once it comes out, I'll definitely help promote it, and I'm really excited to see how that comes. So I'm definitely trying to get myself ready for any opportunity to work in Rooster Teeth, because that is kind of a dream job for me, no matter where I'm at there. Kelvin Zilla 2000 asks, alright, here's my question. What ships will be the most dominant in Volume 4 of RWBY? I think Black Sun is probably going to be the most dominant, although I don't know if that'll be canon or not, but that is definitely going to be something a lot of people are going to be shipping or hate shipping on, because Black Sun is controversial for some reason. Larson Domingo says, do you think there should be another character in RWBY like Tyrion except good? For example, Tyrion has a crazy personality, crazy laugh, and probably kills for fun. And if there's another character like Tyrion except for good, he has a fun personality, the type that always has a smile, a fun laugh like woohoo, and likes to fight tough opponents for the thrill and fun of it. And when he fights tough opponents, he says, this is so much fun, show me more fun. And I already thought of this type of personality for one of my OC characters in Team Moon. Well, congrats on making an OC team, because that's something really cool, and I think it's important to practice writing, and that's a really good way to do it. But I think we already have a character like that, and her name is Nora Valkyrie. I just love Nora, and she does fight tough opponents just for the thrill of it, and she's very happy and laughy and preppy. She loves fighting, so I think we already have that character. The Cybernetic Phoenix asks, scenario, you're trapped in a box canyon in the middle of nowhere with one of the Blood Gulch Reds and Blues, Sarge, Tucker, and Lopez, and so on. But you can choose which one. All necessities like food and water are already taken care of. Which one would you rather have with you? P.S. Doc does not count. Well, of course, he's a pacifist. I'd probably choose Caboose because I can't get in an argument with Caboose or be actually angry at him. I might get mad at him, but it won't last very long. And I can't see him ever showing anger towards me. He's just a fun-loving guy. He's always a friend. The other guys, I could see an argument coming out at some point because they're jerks, or they'll rub me the wrong way or I'll rub them the wrong way. Caboose, I don't see that happening. Weiss Schnee asks, what is a headcanon you have about a character, be it a red versus blue character or a RWBY character? So I'm my red versus blue headcanon, my biggest one, actually kind of became canon in season 13. I kind of had a headcanon that Tucker kept in touch with Junior, and that became canon once in early season 13 when Tucker showed a picture of Junior, being like, yeah, I keep in touch with him, like, he's on a basketball team, look how great he is. For RWBY, it's actually about Ruby Rose, and I have a headcanon that she used to sneak out to the cafeteria or to a fridge somewhere for like midnight snacks, and for holidays she would bring in like a little meal for the team when they wake up, and she just takes care of her team and have a fun little in apartment in bed feast. Sandwiches 42 asks, just a question, where'd your hair go? Also, where do you think season 15 of Red vs. Blue is going? Well, my hair got cut by my sister shortly after RTX. I was wanting my hair cut, but my sister was going into a hair school, and they're like, hey David, your hair's already kind of long and that's easy to cut. Can you wait till October 25th to have your hair cut by your sister, since that's the first day she'll be allowed to actually practice on a person? So we waited till October 25th, and my hair grew a lot longer than anyone expected. So that's what happened. As for season 15 of Red vs. Blue, I think a lot of it's going to do with what Epsilon did to himself at the end. He split himself up into all these parts, so I think everyone's going to have like their new AI fragment, and so we're going to see like Delta and Theta again, kind of like all being memories that Epsilon had. And then there's probably going to be like a new Epsilon who's just a total clean slate, has no memory of anything, but Caboose is going to talk to him and kind of just repeat what happened in season 7, and we'll have church again, so to say. So that's what I think is going to happen in season 15. Zwei, the adorable corgi, asks, what would your dream game be? I already answered that. If that is too hard to answer, then what is your favorite food? I'm going to say sushi. I really love Asian food, whether it's Japanese or Chinese or Taiwanese or any of the other countries, but those are the ones that I eat the most. Sushi I really like, especially when I go out to Washington, Seattle, because there's this really great actual authentic sushi shop, and it's fresh off the coast, and I really like the happy rolls from there. Spider KP97 asks, do you think Sun will face Adam in the future, since apparently Sun is traveling with Blake? Congrats on your accomplishment. Oh, thank you. So I think Sun would interrupt some sort of conflict between Adam and Blake if Adam does hunt down Blake, because obviously right now Blake is going towards family, so I don't think they'll have any interaction until she leaves her family again. But if there is a conflict, I do think Sun is going to try his best to interrupt that. Black Rose says, last one. Well, it probably isn't because it's out of order. If you could deliver a message to yourself from 10 years ago, what would that message be? 10 years ago was probably one of the darkest time of my life. I was a very scared and lone kid. I was going through a lot of stuff, but I'd say, you know, you're doing a good job. Like, just talk to people, get some help. I know everything's really hard and it's lonely. Keep sticking up for those kids who get bullied. Even if they don't stay your friends or thank you for it, you're doing the right thing, and I'm proud of you for doing it. Stay strong. Things will get better, and you're going to have to really work hard for it. Kelvinzilla 2000 says, I don't know if I could put another question. Well, here you go, man. But here it is. What do you think Blake's parents must be by Animal Faunus? Because Velvet is a bunny and Blake is a cat. So what kind of cat-like animal do you think Blake's parents must be? Well, I think her father's probably like a puma or like some sort of black lion. He has some sort of like really big cat. To me, like that's, I don't know if a puma is a really big cat, but I'm throwing it out there. But for her mom, I think she's just a regular house cat, kind of like how Blake kind of is, because they share a lot of resemblance. Inspector Who Reacts says, what are your three favorite RWBY songs from each volume, and what fairy or folktale stories / characters would you like to see in the show? I would love to see like a Robin Hood or Peter Pan type character in the show. As for my favorite 3 songs per each volume, here you go. I really like Boop. All right, Lady Stardust asks, favorite animated movie? All right, so for 3D animation, I'm gonna go with Big Hero 6 because I love Marvel and I love Disney, and this is them collaborating. But also, I think the message in it was so important. It was something I wish I could have had when I was a kid, with dealing with the loss of my father, and shortly after starting to lose other family members and friends, kind of left and right. But it was like how to deal with death and mourning. And if I knew to just talk to other people who are going through the same thing, or just talk to people about it, that could really help get over the grieving, then I think that's really great. And I know there's a lot of other kids who really need that message, sadly, whether they were in the same position or a worse position. I think it's very important for kids to know, and it's just a really fun movie, and it has a lot of Japanese influence, and I love Japan and anime. So yeah, I think that's awesome. As far as 2D animated movies go, I'll say Princess Mononoke because it scarred me when I saw it, but it was a good, beautiful movie. All right, Sandwiches42 asks, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Probably not much, because I'm not much of a fan for Klondike bars. They were just a little too minty for me. I like mint, but just not that much mint. Black Rose asks, if you were a faunus, which animal and which animal feature would you have? I'd probably be a wolf. I'd probably have like wolf ears and fangs and maybe claws. I think for a wolf, you're probably gonna have to have a tail, but I'll tuck it away like Blake tucks her tail away. Eddie Lopez asks, if you slap yourself and it hurts, does it mean that you're strong or weak? Well, I think it means you're more strong than you are weak. You're just strong enough to break your pain threshold to cause yourself pain. Rogan McFlubbin, which by the way, guys, shout out to him. He's done a video with me and Shane. He says, what kind of video on your channel do you enjoy making the most? And if a bear and a shark had a fight, who would win? I think a shark would win because the shark is going to stay in the water and the bear is going to have to be near the water or in the water to fight it, and the shark will just pull him in and drown him. But for a favorite kind of video I like making, I really love doing my Let's Plays because I love playing video games and I could kind of just be a little flexible with my editing and experiment. I'm very left-brained, but I'm trying to learn how to do more creative stuff editing-wise, and Let's Plays really give me that flexibility to do so. And I love playing video games and sharing what kind of stuff I like, and it's really great when I'm making a video with Rogan or Shane or anyone else. It's just really nice to play off of them for vocal and dialogue entertainment. That Orange asks, have you seen The Walking Dead? Well, it took me a year to get through season 1, which is just six episodes, and I just kind of dropped off somewhere near season 3 because other than like season premieres, mid-season finales, mid-season premieres, and season finales, I just didn't like it. I just kind of got bored with it and kind of just dropped it. I still kind of keep in touch with the story, but I don't watch it. Okay, Lady Stardust asks, as a fellow YouTuber, I know the frustrations that come with YouTube. What's one thing you wish you could tell people about YouTube? Example, that it's harder than it looks. Well, it is harder than it looks. I'd say do your research on what you want to do before you make your channel, and just experiment before you actually upload anything. Just film a couple of videos, show them to your friends and family once you're done editing them, which takes a lot of work and a lot of learning to do. Show them, get their feedback. Don't take it too harshly if some of them are like, well, you could do this better. And know that you're not going to be perfect right off the beginning. You're going to be very monotone and boring. It happens to everyone. But, I mean, it's probably happening to me right now. Just do that, and make sure you have like 5 or 6 videos made before you do your first upload. And that way you could just kind of upload one video a week and still have time to make videos and never kind of have a dry period for your subscribers to just be like, where are the videos at? Because I struggle with that. All right, Shane Nanigans, which by the way, shout out to Shane. He's one of my best friends on the internet right now. He asks, what were some of your favorite video games to play as a child? Do you still play those games today? And if you could have a Pokemon as your companion, the same way Ash does with Pikachu, which Pokemon would you choose? Well, as for games that I love playing as a child, I really love playing The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This was the first game I purchased with my own money, and it was the first rated T game I owned. And I just loved Legend of Zelda, the story and the music, and it's just so magical. It's been a part of my life. My GameCube came with the Legend of Zelda Collection Edition, so I had Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and Those were really great. Do I still play these games today? I like to think so. Thank you, Nintendo, so much for remastering this. As for Pokemon I would keep as a companion like Ash keeps Pikachu, I would choose Cyndaquil, because Cyndaquil is my favorite starter from my favorite generation. And also, all three of his evolutions are amazing. Quilava and Typhlosion. Oh man, I love them. And so yeah, I would totally like it. And I got this guy when I was in Hawaii. So yeah, I like him. And I also have another Cyndaquil in the Warthog behind me from my old childhood friend. So thank you, Shane. Also, guys, check out his videos because he does really amazing Let's Plays and he's really good at editing. And I learned quite a bit of my editing from watching his videos. LolU2 says, you have 10 seconds. The bomb is counting down. 9, 8, 7. The bomb squad tells you to cut the red wire. 6, 5, 4. Which color wire would you cut? Red, brown, red, pink, red, yellow, or red, orange? Probably red, orange? I don't know. I don't know if I blow up or survive. You tell me. Trenton Dixon asks, do you think in this season of Ruby we're going to see a deeper side of Ruby after everything that has happened from Volume 3 and Episode 2 of Volume 4? Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see that. And I think we're going to see that with all the characters because they're not together as a team. We're going to see them as individuals separately. So I think we're going to see a separate side of them as people. And then hopefully they'll come back together as a team and be stronger together as they find their identities more and define who they are. All right, guys, thank you so much for the questions. Like, you guys had a lot of amazing ones. I'll probably have videos expanding more on my answers from some of these questions just for like help tips or like Sandwich's question about like what would I be like if I was in Ruby. And guys, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully we'll get to 2,000 in no time and so on. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful day. And I love you. See you guys next time.